I think one of the things about something like CASCAiD is that and the products that they offer is that they provide you with some tools which are very powerful and which are really good for getting young people to think about what career they're going to pursue and how they want to make a start to their career. What you think about the future tells you an awful lot about how you think about yourself and how you think about the present. It tells you actually a lot more about what you think about the present than it does about what's going to happen in the future. It's very difficult to predict what's going to happen in the future. So what we can look at is we can look at what's there, we can look at the trajectories that it offers us, we can look at the possibilities that it offers us, and we can make some decisions about where we see ourselves going and what we want to do and what kind of service, IAG or whatever we call it, careers work, what kind of thing that is going to be. We're in the middle of a debate. There's quite an important moment, I think, and the choices we make about how we respond to various political and policy, economic challenges, but also how we embrace technology, I think is one of the things that we're going to be thinking about. So IAG isn't actually what we do. IAG is the way we do it. IAG is a set of techniques. What we do, I mean, I call it careers work. There are probably other names for it, but what we do sit somewhere in these various different dichotomies. So, you know, work and education, communities, benefits, skills, adults, youth, social justice. These are all the things that when you start to talk about policy and what policy matters, then you start to talk about, well, actually, we can look at all of these different things. Careers work I would call it an integrative concept. It's something which brings lots of things together. It's not just something which comes from one place and you think, well, actually, this is the only thing that matters. It joins everything up. And so we've got the potential that almost everything that goes on in society, we can turn up and go, well, actually, we could be useful for you. Now, that's a limitation because we don't have a single funding stream. We don't have a minister who looks at careers. We don't have all of those sorts of things. But we do have the chance that we can make a case for what we do in a whole load of different policy contexts. The perspective that says careers work is a load of rubbish is usually based on this kind of ridiculous idea that what you can do with somebody is see their future. What you can do is predict their future at the age of, you know, somebody like I was, losing their PE kit seems to be your main transferable skill, and you sit down with a careers advisor and they can tell you that actually in 20 years' time you're going to be standing up to the CASCAiD Conference trying to talk about the future of IAG. I mean, it's just improbable that that is a realistic expectation, and it's not what we plan. It's not what we claim to do. It's not what matching systems like the CASCAiD system claim to do. What you claim to do is to start people down a track, start people down a direction of travel. Yes, it's helping people over a period of transition, but we're also skilling people to manage their careers, manage their life, calling it career management skills. But that seems to become, and that sits us, in terms of what the future of the profession is, sits us in a slightly different place. No longer is perhaps the IAG, the sitting down one-to-one. Maybe that's only part of what we do. Maybe actually what we are is we're specialist teachers who are about developing sets of skills that enable people to develop their ability to understand the labour market, manage transitions, and so on and so on. So all in all, I think career IAG is very firmly on the political agenda. There's lots and lots of policy activity going on, and it really remains to see whether very much better services will emerge over the next few years, or whether what we're seeing really is a rearranging of the deck chairs, and the honest truth being that there are probably going to be less and less deck chairs over the next few years. Public services are going to be cut. Whether they should be, whether it's the best solution, I probably don't think, but nonetheless that is probably what's going to happen. So all this policy goes up against a pretty negative economic environment where public sector services are going to be asked to spend less money. So what you do is you're going to have to think of a way to do it with less. Now that can be work harder, or that can be think of what I think we need to be doing anyway, is basically thinking of a new paradigm. How do we deliver what we do to a much wider group of people? Not just how do we deliver the service to NEETs on half the resources, but how do we deliver a service to everybody which can which we've got a realistic chance of getting to everybody without it actually costing that much, and that's where things like technology start to be interesting. How do we make these things available to wider groups of people and so on? There is definitely an element where we can say, well, there is an opportunity here for us to really assert the value of career IAG and to really assert its social and economic value.